It's election day as Canadians head to the polls in the 45th general election. Polling stations will be open across Ottawa, with voters having 12 hours to cast a ballot. Here to discuss what you need to know to vote, I'm joined by Diane Benson of Elections Canada. Good morning to you, Diane.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so first off, when are the polls open?
Polls are open in the Ottawa area, Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec from 9:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night. So 12 hours for you to get out there and cast your ballot.
Okay, so Diane, what does one need to vote? Do you know, in your riding especially?
The first thing that we tell people before you decide to head out and go vote is make sure you know where you're going. If you got one of those voter information cards, it's going to tell you where your polling place is. And that's important because we've had a lot of riding boundary changes. And also the place you voted in the provincial election, or maybe that you went to in the last election, maybe we couldn't rent that this time around. So you want to check that voter information card and make sure that it's got the address that you need. If you can't find that card, because it came in the mail a week or so ago, you can always go and type your postal code into the Elections Canada website, and it'll tell you where to go. So that's really important to know where you go. Then take a minute and look in your wallet, look in your purse, and say, do I have the right ID? So for most people, you're going to pull out a driver's license. That's all you need. It's one piece of ID. But if you don't have that, you might need to do a little bit of a further check. There's a list on the website of multiple sources of ID that you can have. But basically what you're trying to do is prove who you are and where you live. So take a little check before you go. Then you walk out the door, go to the polling station. You've got your voter information card. If you have it, that'll help us process you faster. You've got the right ID. We're going to be able to serve you as quickly as possible.
Okay, so Diane, the riding of Carleton has 91 candidates. So I'm just wondering, what has Elections Canada done to accommodate all those candidates on that ballot?
Well, this is not the first time that this has happened, that we've had this high number of candidates who have applied to have their names on the ballot in a riding. So we have dealt with this before, and basically the ballot is 2 columns instead of 1. It's bigger, it's bulkier. For the electors who go there, they're going to have to maybe take a little bit of extra time as they sit down and unfold it and find in alphabetical order the candidate that they want to mark as their preferred choice. And what we have done is there's been special training for the election workers who will be in that poll, because they've got to fold and unfold the ballot a little bit differently so that we don't see the elector's choice. And then we've had to have things like more ballot boxes, because the size of that ballot requires more. We can't fit as many as we can with a regular small ballot. And then we're also looking at having extra teams in place to help with the count that night. Because, again, there was a very high, record turnout for advance polls in the Carleton riding. So we know that we're going to have a big count that night. So we ask for people's patience as the results come in, because we count all the ballots slowly and carefully. Okay,
and Diane, do the voters have to worry about refolding that ballot? I mean, it's going to be quite large. Can they just fold it in a quick way and then hand it over to the official, and then they do the proper folding?
The staff will help them with it, and it will be done so that no one gets to see how you voted.
Okay. Finally here, when will results be available?
So as soon as the polls close at 9:30, we can start putting results on. But people have to have a little patience, because they have to understand when a poll closes, they close the doors, everybody's locked inside. The people who are the staff who are counting the ballots in front of witnesses. Witnesses are usually the scrutineers, the party representatives that are there to see it. They have to make sure everything's in place. Then they open the ballot box and they count the ballots one by one, and they hold them up and they show them to the witnesses in the room, and everybody agrees that vote goes for that person. It's a methodical process. It's a careful process. It takes a bit of time, but when all of it is done and the numbers all match and all the ballots are accounted for, then there's a phone call made and the results are transmitted and they're posted on the website. So again, it might take a little bit of extra time for that count to happen. So we ask for people's patience. We also ask for their patience if there are lineups at the polls. Those poll workers are doing the best they can. And if there's as strong a turnout as we saw in the advance polls, maybe try to come today when you go to vote, maybe try to come at an off-peak hour.
Wow, it is going to be a busy night, no doubt about it, for Elections Canada. Thank you so much, Diane Benson, for walking us through this process. Really appreciate your expertise here.
Pleasure talking to you.
Be sure to tune into CTV News tonight for results, analysis, and perspective from all across the country. Our election night coverage gets underway at 7 p.m., 4 p.m. Pacific, led by CTV News Chief News Anchor Omar Sachedina and CTV News Chief Political Correspondent Vashi Kapelos.